I've been on this road a long time, from the time I was a boy. My grandparents lived in Pueblo and buried there. I grew up in Cortez. We would drive this road right through Fort Garland to be able to head over to Pueblo. And I remember driving through Del Norte, driving through Monte Vista, driving through South Fork, Alamosa, you know, and I saw communities that had customers on the street. You couldn't find a parking lot on Main Street that was sitting there. I'm now driving through, if you'd been with me yesterday down in La Harra, and the empty buildings that we saw, storefront after storefront after storefront after storefront that are closed. And you saw in one window, or I saw in one window, to where the for rent sign that was now covered with dust had fallen on the floor. We've got to be able to reinvigorate our small communities. We've got to be able to give that opportunity. One of the best things we could do, I think, if we want to have some economic stimulation, is to free up our vets, give them the choice to be able to live where they want to live. We've got to take into consideration their medical care. Get these businesses moving again. So we are putting in bills to be able to reduce that regulatory requirement that's going to be there. Not eliminating all, just trying to bring common sense to the process. I've been a small businessman my whole life, and kind of had several axioms that you live by. You know, if it doesn't work, stop doing it. If it's broken, fix it. We've got to be able to have that flexibility to be able to truly get this economy moving again. We've also passed some legislation to be able to give some certainty when it comes to the tax code in this country. January 1st, we are on the cusp of seeing the highest individual tax increase in American history. The ATM goes into full force at that point, meaning that probably everybody in this room is going to see a tax increase that will hit, unless we do what the bill that we provided for was maintain the current tax code, and then let's move to real tax reform in this country. We can make it flatter, fairer, and simpler. We don't need convoluted page after page that the IRS cannot even explain. Let's eliminate the loopholes. Lower the tax rate on the corporate end, and let's make businesses. You're a businessman, you know government can always put out a carrot. If you behave a certain way, we'll give you a credit, which is a loophole. To be able to get through, let's go ahead and develop this to where businesses can just make good business decisions. I promise you that as a businessman, we'll make a good choice. We want to be able to make profits. And when we make profits, we actually reinvest those and create more jobs going in. Let's make the United States of America the country that people want to come and do business in, rather than having, I just talked to a medical device company that was planning on building a plant here in the United States to be able to put Americans back to work, to be able to create jobs when we need them most. And because of the proposed act under the President's health care plan, they are now moving that overseas. We're driving jobs out. We all know we need to pay some taxes. We all understand that. But we need to make sure that we've got a sensible, understandable policy that incentivizes and rewards innovation and job creation in this country, not punishes them. And so those are a couple of bills that we're working on in the field. For small business people, that is my world that I grew up in and that I have lived. Believe me, I understand the frustration and the fear that you have. And I don't think we can, for a moment, underscore how that impacts our families as well. Because I am literally talking to moms right now that are trying to figure out how many gallons of gasoline they can afford to be able to put in their vehicle and still be able to buy groceries. We can fix this.
137.
Representative, welcome to Castilla County.
Yes, sir.
I'm a Vietnam veteran along with my comrade, Lee Busby. We were selected as 2 of 3 veterans to sit on a committee formed by the county commissioners of the San Luis Valley to deal with veterans issues. On behalf of myself, now, hopefully Lee will go with me, we'd like to thank Brenda for all the effort she's put into veterans issues and participating for almost 2 years. The predecessor of this committee and the committee now, and the same way with Charlotte. I know that you have participated with veterans, some of the local younger veterans. Over 10% of the population of the valley are veterans, not spouses included, just veterans, as you can see in this room. Most of us are older. We have issues. I represent the Vietnam, Korea, World War II veterans on this committee. When are you going to come to the valley and meet with us? We have the same issues, that is, the Vietnam era veterans went through a lot of the things that the current kids are going through. We try to support them, but it would be good for you to come and deal with us because we're the ones having the medical issues. The local county veteran service officer has a couple of vans. This last year they spent they drove over 131,000 miles carrying veterans to the front range. That did not include personal mileage. It did not include any other mileage. That was just mileage on those vans. And we need help dealing with the VA, and hopefully you'll find a way to come and meet with us at some time.
You know, delighted to meet with you at any time, and like I say, you just run it with Brenda, and more than happy. You know, I've met with veterans in your age bracket, in a variety of locations throughout the 3rd CD, and happy to certainly set this up and to be able to sit down with you right here and be able to talk to those issues because obviously, as we've been talking here, these are important issues for you, and I think literally for all Americans. Make sure that we're doing it, and to be able to find out the best way that we can. And again, I'll invite you, and please give us your input. Give me a call in regards to this Healthy Vets Act that we were talking about, because I think that is part of the solution that you're talking about. One other idea that would love to be able to sit down and visit with you on. It's actually over in Durango, what they're doing at the clinic there. They're literally knocking down a wall within the clinic. Just because of that wall, they weren't able to be able to provide the way it is structured. And you're going to be probably well versed in terms of some of the rigidity that we see in the VA in terms of policy. But they've worked with the VA knocking down that wall. They're going to be able to provide a lot of the primary care that our vets need over in Durango. This is going to be an option that we're following up with out of our Durango office to be able to see how this is working. So if we can make a recommendation to the VA to be able to do that right here in the valley as well. And so I'll look forward to being able to visit with you on that. Thanks.
Scott, can I follow up on that real quick? I don't know if you know the answer to this or not. I don't know, people in this room probably don't know how the VA system works, but you're rated on your injury, and it's a 0% rating to 100% rating. So as far as the transportation issues and getting people to where they need to be, is the rating scale, does that affect that? Because I have a very high rating, so I don't have any issues or problems being compensated.